Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Kicking Aces here in World of Tanks. And today I am in the Type 59, the Chinese Tier 8 premium tank that was on sale pretty recently, is no longer available, and we are in a standard battle on Northwest. And I have unlocked, XP-wise, a number of tanks recently, thanks to the on-track events and some other things going on. I currently have unlocked with XP, but not purchased with silver, the Waffenträger E100, the RU251. I'm close to the T49, and I'm approaching a couple other tanks as well. And so silver is right now my greatest need in the game. The Waffenträger, the Tier 10s, go for 6 million, sometimes 6.1 or 6.2 million. I think it's 6.1 in the Waffenträger's case. So I have been playing my premium tanks a bit more than anything else right now to try and bank some silver in order to start buying those tanks and adding them to my arsenal. So playing tanks that earn a lot of silver means I'm playing the Type 59. I have grown to like this tank more and more as I get to play it. It really has turned into a solid all-rounder. It's common where I play a game in the Type 59 and I put up triple thousands. I put up 1,000 or more damage, 1,000 or more assistance, and 1,000 or more blocked damage. And really just have a nice overall contribution to the outcome of the battle. So and to boot, if I have an average game to a good game, you can put away 60, 70 silver, and really good games you can hit the 100k mark and even surpass that. And then if you start adding ops onto that give you multipliers, the silver is crazy in this tank. So I have been playing it a bit recently, and I've had some good games in it, and this is my best game in the Type 59 to date. It's going to be a nice quality game. You'll see a lot of engagement, some at range, some close up. We'll move, we'll shift a little bit, mostly in this area of the map, but we'll be continuing to look for opportunities, and we'll be trying to have a positive influence on the outcome of the game, which we need to do because we are top tier. The matchmaker has been very kind. This is a Tier 8 battle, and we are one of just a couple of Tier 8s on our team. So we did have a premium shell loaded for the front of the IS-3, which I was having trouble getting through, and then a KV-2 popped up, so I unloaded the premium round that I had loaded, and then switched back to normal rounds, because I certainly don't need them to go through a KV-2. And even though he's dropped off the map, I put one more into his last known location. I'm figuring he's backing straight up, and then what the heck, I take one more just in case he hasn't dodged out of the way, and we are rewarded for that shot with the kill on the KV-2, removing him from the game and securing our first kill. Now we can see the T25/2, that is the Tier 7 American tank destroyer, and he's now behind cover, and I'm thinking maybe I can blow this building down to expose him, but my first shot is not able to do it. I'm not sure. You can knock chunks of that building off, I think. I don't know if you can ever get it completely down so that you can shoot through it without any obstruction. So we switch targets. Now there's a KV-3 of that looks like, Tier 8 Russian heavy tank, and we're looking for some shots into his side. That's a very well armored tank, but if we can get his sides or some other flush surfaces, we'll have a chance to go through. But there the T25/2's popped out again, leaves us a nice shot into the front upper plate, and since we're shooting down from above on him, that weakens the armor a little bit, and the armor on that tank's nothing to write home about anyway. Alright, so now we've got this leopard, and this leopard is leading a charmed life in this game. Watch the shots that go towards this guy that are fully aimed, that should be taking him out, and that don't. He's just living on the edge here for a long time. He is on borrowed time, though. We're going to get him eventually, and we're not going to let him get away. But he did escape there. We had a fully aimed shot, and it hit, but it only critted his tank. I don't know if we hit his gun or an observation port or something. I don't think we tracked him. The shot was too high to do track damage. So we're going to keep an eye on him as he continues to pop up and harass some of the friendly tanks on my team. And we can see that we've got a good game here. It is 6-6 in terms of the score. There he is again. Oh my goodness, fully aimed. He was taking up almost the entirety of the circle, and we must have dipped low into the rock face there, even though most of his tank was exposed. So he will live for another day for now. And then we take a hit on the side, and wow, what a surprise. T29 is charging at us, and we take one on the side, and now we turn to face him. And during this engagement, something happens, or has already happened, that will affect us a little bit later, but we'll get into that when it becomes relevant. So the T29 is engaging us here. Thankfully, we have some help, and I'm trying to circle around him, keep his gun moving, and then right here, this is the right strategy, I think. I get up on his side, I hug, and then I go back and forth. And now watch, he's got to try and keep his gun pointed at me, and at the same time, the thing that he's most likely to hit is my turret, which is my strongest armor. So we did get him to miss that one shot there, and we're almost loaded. Oh, thankfully we get a shot from our tank destroyer on the bridge, which puts him within range of a one shot, and we are able to take him out with only pretty minimal damage for being completely caught out and surprised by that T-29. That ended up going very well, thanks in most part to the two teammates I had on my team who provided some supporting fire. Even though I think the light tank ended up ramming himself to death during that engagement. Did that happen? I think it did. But he still helped me out, so we appreciate it. And we're still in the game with over a quarter of our hit points left. So here the KV-3 now has made its way all the way down the slope, and he's gotten his side to us, which is awesome that we can go through that without much trouble. But I don't want to give up any hit points right now, because we are getting into the late stages of the battle and the scores are still tied, and I feel like I'm going to need to play a role to help our team secure the win. So as soon as that KV-3 started turning his turret towards me, I backed off. I'd rather save myself the hit than get one more quick hit into him. Then when he turns his turret back to face the threats from the front, we could pop out, put another shot into him. So we're going to relocate. We can see that there is the light tank. Is that still the Leopard? Yes, it is. There he is. Still hanging around. Like I said, he has been living the charmed life. And we get spotted. I think that was from the Leopard. So we're going to pull back and use this rock face for cover. And we're just looking for some shots of opportunity now. Again, we're shifting. We're trying to use these bushes when we can. And here we go. There's the IS-3. That's the Tier 8 Russian heavy tank. And that tank has a pike nose. The front of the tank's armor is sloped together. But thankfully, he's pointing down the hill here. So that really reduces the angling on that front plate and allows us to go through with much more ease than we would if he was on level ground facing us evenly, allowing the sloping of his armor to provide much more effective thickness. So we put a couple more shots in and remove him from the game, and that brings us to 4 kills. We're having a really nice roll here, but man, it's still neck and neck. 10-10, now it's 11-10. And there on the T-150, I waited as he was turning his front plate. I waited until he turned past the front and I had the shot into the side. And there, did you see that? My engine took damage. And at the time I'm thinking, what the heck just damaged my engine? I didn't take a hit. I run the speed governor on this tank, which it's a weird choice. I just don't know what else to put on it. I don't want to put a premium consumable. I don't like wasting money. Again, the reason I'm playing this tank is to make money. And I feel like the speed governor just gives that little bit of extra oomph that this tank lacks for me. It just feels a little bit sluggish. So what happened was, this is the first time this happened to me. When you leave the speed governor on for a long time, it can damage your engine. And I turned it on, I think intentionally, when I was battling the T-29. I wanted the extra grunt in the engine to shift and try to circle around him, and I forgot to turn it off. So that was on that entire time, and it finally, after that long, damaged my engine. So I think that was a pretty good trade. I was getting an extra, I think it's 10% to your engine power for all that time without ever cycling it off, and then it finally did some damage to my engine. And of course, I could have cycled it off at any time after that engagement and prevented the damage completely. So I'm enjoying using that consumable, even though there might be better choices. And if I get my crew skilled up in this tank with some of the off-road perks, off-road driving, clutch braking, those things that make the mobility of the tank better, then I could probably swap that out for something else. But right now I feel like I just want that little bit of extra mobility, so I like using it. And now we had a nice little push here at the end. The Allies provided some additional support, and we have the enemies down to just a single tank remaining. And it's a heavy tank. I think it is the T-34, the American Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank. So we're going to go hunting. We're going to try and see if we can get one more kill or at least a little bit of damage. And it looks like the Walker Bulldog on our team is going to be the first one in. And I'm trying to let this guy know, hey, go ahead in if you want, but I'm on my way. We can go a 2-on-1 here, provide attacks from multiple angles, and that way we don't have to worry about anybody getting taken out. The gun on that T-34, it's pretty slow, so even if the Bulldog takes a hit, he's going to be able to put in a lot of damage in return, and so am I. So I was originally going to go up the right slope, because I thought the Bulldog was going to attack from the left, but then I see he's swooping around to the right, so I'm going to change and adapt to what his plan is, because he's more mobile. I'll go left, up the left side. Again, I don't want to attack from the same side and let him put his front strongest armor towards both of us. I want us to be able to pincer him, have him looking at one while the other one is able to engage. So the Bulldog's going to get there first, and we're able to hear the big shot from the gun on the T-34, so we know we've got a chance. We come up here, and I'm going to go for a tracking shot, and I miss it because he was rotating his tank. That shot missed a little bit. When the T-34 has so much health left, I want to track him, because then any more damage the Bulldog does to him, I'll get credit for, and the Bulldog will be able to circle him much easier. But then when I had time for my second shot, again, I was going to go for the track, But the Bulldog had put in so much damage, the guy was a one hit, so I shift my aim to the lower plate. We secure the kill for our 5th kill of the game and take down the win for the friendly team. That was a great game, and now we'll take a quick look at the post-game stats. We can see we did just about 4,500 damage in our Tier 8 tank. Great result for our 5 kills, which put down 119,000, basically 120,000 silver with absolutely no help from operations. And we put down almost 6,000 XP. Again, no operations, just doubled for our first win. And we're able to secure a boatload of medals. Duelist, high caliber for causing the highest amount of damage. Fighter for our 5 kills. Bruiser for all the modules and crew damage that we were able to do throughout the battle. And a first-class mastery badge. And this is an interesting first-class mastery badge. I talked about this in a pretty recent video. I'll put a link up to it, where I feel like the requirements for ace tankers has faced some kind of creep. The numbers have gotten much harder, much higher in order to secure an ace tanker. And here you can see 1,825 base XP. I think I was talking about a 1,700 plus game last time. This is an 1,800 plus game, and it's still not enough for an ace tanker. I do have my ace tanker in the Type 59. I got it on the first day the tank came out, so it was a bit of a hollow victory where I got it for much lower than most tanks would get it. I think it was at a 12 or 1,300 game. Since then, I put up some 1,500s, some 1,600s, but this puts up an 1,825 XP, and it's not enough for an ace tanker. I know this tank, people are killing it. The really good players, the Unicums out there, have been working on 3-starring this tank because it's new, and it's premium, and it earns a lot of silver. So I know there are some people out there putting up some monster numbers while they're trying to 3-star this tank, but I could not believe that there were enough people putting up ridiculous gains where an 1825 is not enough for the ace tanker. But no worries, it's still a great game. I'm still going to call this a kicking aces game because it is one of my best, even though it doesn't result in the ace tanker. We can see for our detailed results here, shots fired were 32, 27 of those hit, and only 22 penetrations. Remember, this is a Tier 8 game. We were top tier. 5 of the shots that we shot didn't penetrate. The penetration on the Type 59, it's not great. You got to fire a little more premium ammo than you usually would. Thankfully, doing so doesn't really impact the silver earning potential. Again, you don't want to spam premium, but when you're facing something like an IS-3 or some of these other tanks at range that have really strong armor, you may need to switch over to the premium ammo. So just keep that in mind if you're using this tank. And we can see once again 4,500 damage, just a sprinkling of assistance damage with 240. No capture or defense there. We went for all the kills, and that was a really fantastic game. I really had a lot of fun there. I feel like I put the Type 59 through its paces, used it to its strengths, and really there are no weaknesses to the tank other than it's a bit sluggish and its reload is not quite awesome, but wasn't really an issue in this game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was one that I definitely enjoyed a lot and really wanted to share. And if you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It helps the channel out. It lets the videos get a little more exposure. And if you're interested in more content, please subscribe, as there's more content on the way, more videos coming soon. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.